Hello, 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 everybody out in the virtual world. How are you doing today? I am alive and I want to talk a little bit about things that I've learned or things that I wish I would have known in the past. This is part of my series, things that I wish I would have learned back then. My name is Linda. I'm your Back in the Groove Again coach. Now, what does that mean, back in the groove again? Well, back in the 60s when they used the word groovy, it meant everything was cool, everything was fine. Hi, who's joining me? Hello, nice of you to join me. You can type your name in the chat box. I'd love to say hi to you. So, back when the groovy word was popular, well, back in the groove simply means, getting back into your groove, getting back into feeling really good. And that could be, well, maybe the kids are moved out and now you're thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to get back in my groove? That's an example. Or perhaps you're looking for a new job and you're going, I got to do something to get back in my groove again. So back in the groove can mean different things for different people, right? Hi, hello, Paula. Nice to meet you. Hey, Paula, I got a question. What does back in the groove mean to you? I'm just curious. People keep asking me, what does that mean? What does back in the groove again mean? It can mean so many different things to different people. What does it mean to you, Paula, to get back in your groove? And sometimes it takes different things for different women to get back into their groove. Anyway, so today I'm talking about something I wish I would have known back then, and it is about procrastination. And the reason I want to talk about procrastination is because I have been procrastinating mowing my lawn. Now, I know it doesn't sound super exciting, but guess what? Yeah, just rolling through life. Absolutely. Now, when you're rolling through life and you're back in the groove, is there, kind of like a hesitation, or is it really easy and smooth and you're going through life doing what you love and everything sounds great and feels great? Or is there some hesitancy? Hi, Shadir. Thanks for joining. So rolling through life might also implicate not procrastination, not procrastinating, right? I mentioned I have to mow my lawn and I've been procrastinating, and guess what? The grass is getting longer. Now, exactly, effortless. So no procrastination, just doing what needs to be done without overthinking it, without, feeling like, oh, I got to get this done. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what I should have known back then was there's no need to put in so much effort or energy on certain things that might need to get done or things that we want to do. The bottom line is and I'll talk about my grass because it's true, I do have to mow my lawn. If I don't mow it, it's going to get longer. And if it gets longer, guess what? It's going to require more effort, right, Paula? I don't know if you've ever had to mow a lawn. If the grass just keeps getting longer and longer, it requires more effort. So, bottom line, I got to do it. I'm going to be doing it. And that's something that I wish I would have known back then is instead of procrastinating, instead of spending so much time thinking of why I don't want to do it, why I didn't want to do certain things, I need to focus on what it's going to help me feel like once it's done. In my case, because I'm focusing on the lawn that needs to get done, I'm going to feel much better. And I know that I'm going to, once it's done, I'm going to not have to worry about it for maybe 4 or 5 days, maybe not more than that. But I'm not just talking about lawn mowing. I'm talking about things in general. So what kind of things have you guys been procrastinating about? and that you know that maybe that's a energy that could be used on just getting the task done. Anything you've been procrastinating lately? Shadir, anything, or Paula, anything you've been procrastinating on? I know every year I procrastinate on getting my income taxes done. And I know now that that amount of energy or that amount of time that I've used up not moving forward, getting things done, is now gone. It's now wasted. And it makes me feel even crappier, excuse the language. Okay, painting a window in, and it sounds so simple, doesn't it? When you think about it, it sounds so simple. And I guess that's part of why I want to talk about it. It's simple to do. And if we could just get it done, I think that's the part that I've learned, is that instead of wasting days and days and days and sometimes longer, weeks, getting this done, getting the painting of the window done, or getting the income tax done, or mowing my lawn, I want to try to reduce that amount of time. Now, I might not be perfect at getting it done right away, but the idea is to reduce the amount of time that I'm actually using towards not doing it, focusing on just doing it. And one of the things that I like about reducing that amount of time and just focusing on doing it, I like to give myself a reward. And I've learned that, this is another thing that I've learned, is that although I might have, wasted a lot of time procrastinating, when I decide to do it and I reward myself after, yahoo! It's the reward that I love. And the reward is not going to be, like $1 million. No, in my case, as soon as I'm done my live, I'm going to get out there and mow my lawn. Now, I have to explain to you guys that I have a big lawn, so I'm not doing the whole yard. I have a front yard, I have a middle yard, and I have a gigantic, and I call it I don't want to use this word, it might be considered inappropriate on Facebook, but I got a really big backyard. So instead of doing it all, I know I don't want to do it all today, mostly because of the heat, but I have other things I want to do. I gotta break it down in chunks. Is that something that you could do, Paula? Can you break it down in chunks, or is it just easier just to get it done? Because, this is another thing, especially with my income taxes, I had to break that down in chunks too. So the overall goal might have been I want to complete my income taxes, but it might have meant, well, I have to organize my papers first, right? So you want to, that's another thing that I learned that I wish I would have known back then. It doesn't have to be, I got to eat the whole elephant right away, because I can't do that. That's not my style. My personal style is to break it down in mini tasks that are manageable, that I know. And mini tasks might just be, well, maybe in the case of Paula, okay, all right. So that's the bottom line. It's got to be done all at once. And do you think it depends on the task itself? What do you think, Paula? Do you think it depends on the task that you are procrastinating? Some tasks might have to be done all at once, like in your case. Maybe other tasks, like in my case, I could do all my grass at once. I could, but I'd rather not. So for example, what I mean by that is I might do the front part this morning. Actually, it's just past noon here. I'll do the front part, and then I'll take a break, go for my walk. That'll be my nice little reward, or maybe I'll pick up a nice latte or something. And then in the afternoon, I'll do another part. So there's different ways that you could break it down if it doesn't have to be done all at once. Now, in Paula's case, you have to do it all at once. All right. So you want to set yourself a deadline. That's another thing that I noticed, that if I don't have a deadline, Or if I haven't told somebody else, guess what? I'm going to get this done. Then I might procrastinate even more. So setting a deadline and having an accountability buddy. That's why coaches are so important. I mean, that's part of what I do, right? I hold people accountable for things they want to do in order to get their groove back. So putting it out there. Right. And is it unpleasant, or is it actually pleasant with maybe additional things? Can you make it pleasant? Can you make it fun? Because in our mind, I think that's part of what I've done in the past too. And, I have to admit, I'm not perfect at this. But I've noticed, like with the income tax one, in my mind, it's daunting. And in my mind, I am trying to prevent having to pay income tax. And guess what? I'll still have to pay anyways. So I'm not really preventing anything, but it's all in our mind. And the longer I delay, the more painful or the more unpleasant it is. But when you think about it, and this is the part that I've learned, is that is a mindset that we've adopted. That if we change that mindset to say, okay, I'm going to spend, and maybe I'm going to spend 10 minutes of doing this, and I'm going to have fun doing this because I love to paint my window. I can't wait to actually see the great colors. And you start with saying that it's going to be 10 minutes, but next thing you know, you've actually continued, because oftentimes I will use a timer when I'm trying to get something done. I'll set a timer, and I don't have my timer here. I'll set a timer for 10 minutes, half an hour, and then I'll reset the timer again because I've gotten into the task. I've gotten into the flow of doing it. And that reward is still there. So when we imagine something as being unpleasant, it does actually prevent us from getting it done. But if we can imagine things as being pleasant and imagine what it's going to look like after, and maybe it's going to look awesome after, and then can you imagine what you'll be able to do after with that energy that you're not wasting or using up on, oh, when am I going to get this thing done, right? And I think that's the part that I wish I would have learned back then, is that there is so much energy being used up thinking about, oh my God, all of this stuff. When once it is done, it's like, whoa, it's done. I can concentrate on other things now. And that's the beauty about it. So that's some of the things that I wish I would have known back then. So I have to, if I'm going to get my lawn mowed, especially the first part of my lawn, because that is what I'm focusing on right now, I have to bid you adieu. So thank you so much for being here, Paula. I'd like you to set yourself a deadline. When are you going to get this done? By which date? And who are you going to maybe ask to support you? Maybe asking a friend, telling a friend, listen, I intend on painting my window by next week or by Friday. Can you remind me, or can you encourage me, or can you support me? You got to choose the right friend, right? Because if you choose somebody who won't support you or doesn't really care about your goal of painting that window, they're not going to remind you. So you got to choose the right people. You got to choose the right person to support you to get that done. Because although, for myself, I can be a great cheerleader, there's nothing like a friend or a coach to cheerlead you and to celebrate with you once that task is done. All right, now I have a task to get done as well. And I want to thank you for being with me today during my live. Thanks again. And I will be adding some information on my video because I'm actually going to be inviting you to join my Facebook group. So I'll add the details below. And I'm also going to be doing a 5-day challenge, Take Time for You Now challenge, which is going to be great. And I'll be adding information on that below as well. So thanks again for being here. Thanks, Paula. I really appreciate you being here and having some fun. Great. All right. I will do it next weekend. So let's be specific. Is that Saturday or Sunday? Will you start on Saturday? You see where I'm going with this, right? So as you're narrowing down the deadline, you want to start getting really, really, really specific. I'm glad you're going to do it next Wednesday. And I'd love to hear, and you can post it on this video, or you can post it on, on a Facebook, your profile or something, to tell people, guess what, guys, this is what I'm doing next weekend. All right, everybody. Thank you again for listening to me. I've got a job to do now, and I got to get it done. The first part of my lawn. Okay, great. 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Perfect. So Saturday, and again, you want to start thinking what time, or is there anything you need to do to get out of the way, and then focus solely on that task. These are the kind of things you want to also finalize as well. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here. See you next time. I'm going to do another live on Wednesday. Bye. Thanks for being here. Get her done, Paula.